Kalala, would you believe it? Not everybody has the courage to follow their life paths, rather their callings. So a lot of people, for example, are stuck in 9 to 5.
All right.
By first year of working in 9 to 5, I already figured this is not my thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't question the universe, like what is tomorrow?
Yeah.
So let me bear it. And that is why I managed to establish an organization so early. So you've got to be the kind of person that doesn't lean on the fear bit. Because the more courageous you are, the more the doors open, Kalala. You'd be amazed at how much risk taking will do for you. Not in a way that is self-sabotage, but in a way that I'm going to take the step. I trust you to hold me.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Your job is never to know how. Your job is to envision the end goal. And as long as you're willing to take one step, your hand will always be held to the next step.
Yeah.
When you're with somebody, there's an energetic exchange happening.
All
That's
right.
why couples end up starting to look alike after many years together. Think of time in a linear manner, but time isn't linear. Time is cyclical. Yeah, and this was proven by Einstein's theory of relativity. I won't go into the details. So when you think of time being cyclical, it means time moves in a loop. Yeah, and what you're saying when you go back and interact with like an ex, if it's like you're back in the loop. If you didn't pick the lessons that were necessary during the breakup, or rather the time you're with them, you're going to repeat the entire cycle. And
Again.
you can do it, and it will go on and on until you pick your lesson. No science can even explain how spirit meets flesh inside there.
Swear down.
God exists.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think one of the biggest flaws we had was that assumption, like God is somewhere there in
Heaven.
yeah, and you're gonna meet him when we die. Yeah, it's taken away from our ability to be able to connect with God every day. Because if people understood that God walks with you every step of the way,
Yeah.
you'd make every decision with God. But now, how do you listen to God? How does God speak to you?
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Three Truths, No Lie. And today we have an African philosopher and writer in our midst, Julian Rose, right?
Hi, Frankie.
How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
Welcome,
Yourself?
welcome. I'm
Asante
great.
sana.
Mi unisalimi.
Hatutaki kujua.
Wow, I'm also doing good, guys. Just in case you're wondering.
Hi, Kalala.
Hi, how are you? Sitaki ya kuomba. The first time you didn't do it.
So we usually have this thing on this platform where we ask your truth and you say just one truth, right? And then once we've all said our three truths, right, we all say no lie. And we can begin with Kalala, I guess.
Most men in this life are being fed by women.
Deep.
Yours, what is your truth?
Am I allowed to say the truth from any spectrum?
Yes.
It can be anything.
Okay, so the human body, your body, has like trillions of microorganisms, like bacteria, fungal, viruses, that actually outnumber your own human cells.
That's wild.
Ah.
That's wild.
So when you say my body, what are we actually defining?
Interesting. Defining microorganisms.
What? Crazy. Frankie?
So I have one which can match that as well. So there are as many stars in the universe as there are grains of sand in all of Earth's beaches.
Even my brain is struggling to comprehend that.
What?
What?
Insane.
I want to say no lie, but okay. Okay.
Yeah?
No lie.
Okay, no lie. So, Julian, what's up? How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I believe we've crossed paths before.
Yes.
Should we mention where?
Where?
Should we mention where?
Please,
So
elaborate.
Kalala's big bro
Yeah.
is my best friend all the way from campus. 2 days.
Bestie Chubui.
No, like bestie.
But you're literally saying what you just said.
No, please. Don't let
Without
my
the
man call wondering what's going on.
Oh, there's a man. That's what we're finding out. Okay. Tell us more.
I know, please.
So tell us, who's Julian? When we say Julian Rose, what should we expect? Who are we seeing? Who are you?
Julian Rose. The title would be a brand strategist. I run an organization that does visibility and revenue for businesses, corporations, organizations on a global stage.
Okay.
Yeah. But I barely ever define myself by that title because I'm big on energetics, which is naturally just a conscious way of living, better living. So I also coach people on that. So I think of myself as just an embodiment of life, light in the universe. Yes.
Interesting.
Sikia kitu deep, unaambia unasema, oh, you know me, I think myself. That's really nice way to to articulate who you are. So outside whatever you do, tell us about Julian mwenye anakuanga life coach, just before we get into the brand strategist. When you say life coach, is it from a business perspective? Is it emotional? Is it spiritual? Is it mental? It's on what spectrum?
I love that you're asking that because I'm still trying to figure it out.
Okay. So you're cruising nicely.
Exactly, yeah. Because people come to you from everywhere around the world and they have different issues. Somebody could have issues around finances. So they have like a scarcity mindset.
Right.
Somebody comes to you and they're looking into elevating their mindset maybe. Somebody comes to you and they want you to help them scale their business. So I'm more flexible, but I'd narrow it down to coaching on mostly consciousness. So the art of good living, but more so abundance and alchemy. So when you think of alchemy, back in the day, alchemy was the process of converting lead into gold. Yeah, but there's a spiritual essence of alchemy, which is basically just transforming anything that comes to you at life. Yeah, and alchemizing it into something that works for you.
All right.
Yes, so help get people back on how to do that.
So is this something that is in you or something that you studied?
It's something that's in everybody.
All right.
Yeah, so only that our remembrance levels are different. Yeah, so my role is to just bring you back into that memory. Yeah, because we are all born immensely powerful.
Right.
And I try to remind humanity of that.
And when you speak on abundance, like aside from, obviously money, what does that mean to you?
I think of it in a more wholesome lens because when people think of money, they think it's the only form of wealth.
Yeah.
Yet the wealth is a byproduct. When I think of wealth in multiple spectrums. I think of wealth in when it comes to freedom. And that is why I chose the path of running my own thing because I'm not very good with taking instructions. Yeah, I think of wealth as having enough time. I think of wealth as being fulfilled, contented, also healthy. Yeah, so when I talk of abundance, I think it's just the ability to live life as you've always wanted to. And everybody has that ability.
Definitely.
Let me ask you, is this something that is you? Sijui nikueleze aje. Situmie Kiswahili. By the way,
Was you born like that? Or,
hey, man.
or did you have to study it?
Like, is it that when you go through something that made you enlightened? Did you have a life coach? Did you see a therapist? Is this something that over time you're like, by the way, maisha si ngumu venye tunadhani? Like, what had happened? It did just come to you? Ama kuna kitu kufanyikia?
You'd be surprised to actually get that question a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I look back at it, I can't pinpoint exactly where I started this particular journey, but it's something that found me along my path. So people would come and tell you, would you show me how to do things, how you're doing it?
Yeah.
Yeah, whether it's, you seem to have built a business in your 20s. Like, how did you do that? How do we do that? Somebody comes and tells you how you live. Could you show me how to do that? So from those levels of inquiries, I started by a very small circle. So I was like, okay, so I'm going to walk this through. Then it became like a spread of word of mouth. But I also built my brand. Yeah. And through that, at least it's taken me beyond the borders now. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it's a combination of life experience because we all had challenges.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and then just the inner knowing, but also a bit of research. And I say this because it's not easy to arrive at this information when you externalize it. Like you want to borrow it from everybody out there. It's a bit tricky. That's why I try to guide guys back within.
Yeah.
Because if you can arrive at the knowing within, it's easy for you to sustain it. Yeah. So I think it's a combination of just curiosity, but also experience.
Okay.
Yes.
You're talking about starting a business in your 20s. When was the first time you started a business, like ukiwa 20 what?
So you know your bro, me and your bro are very tight.
You said that.
We noticed.
Yeah. So in like third year in campus,
Yeah.
my mom goes bankrupt. Yeah. And I had to survive because I have to figure a way to sustain myself in school.
Yeah.
I'd been raised a bit comfortably. I'm not saying wealthy, but a bit comfortably. So to come from that into back to square one.
Yeah.
I had to start figuring out now, how do we do this? So I had to get like a side gig.
Yeah, okay.
Now I got a job that enabled me to be in school, but also do it on the side.
Okay.
So, but eventually we graduate. They absorbed me fully. 1 year into it, I realized I'm not good at being an employee. So I sit my boss then down in a meeting. We renegotiate. So I tell him, can I do these guys for you? But I don't need to be here physically.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So that's how that's how I got my first client. So my first employer became my first client because we're like, you're good at what you do, so we're not going to lose you.
Yeah.
So let's revisit the contractual agreement.
Yeah.
So from that, at least from that one client, I had the freedom to now go out in the market and see how to get other clients.
So that was the brand strategy side of things. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is that like something which, do you have a specific clientele, or is, like, because we are brands,
Yes.
do we qualify to be, your client, or does it have to be, corporate world?
So for the longest time, we've measured in corporates, but we also do personal brands. But you see, for a long time, like a couple of CEOs around Africa, around the region, are our clients in personal brands.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the last year, the team has opened up its mind a bit. So they're looking at how do we also strategize for people in entertainment, and how did this come about?
Yeah.
So one time, one of my staff comes in and says, look, gives me like 3 people. I won't mention names. Yeah, but they have a following of like 1 million. Yeah, across the platforms. And the question was, if you have that level of following, guys, you're supposed to make money out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not even supposed. I'm not saying live is a bad thing. Yeah, but you need to, with that kind of following, if you understand how brand strategy works, you're supposed to be living a life better than any of these people we look up to in the society.
For sure.
Yeah, but we've not been taught how to package our brands and make money out of it.
To turn it into money.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think because I do it professionally, it's a bit easy on my end, but it came from that particular question. Yeah. So we looked at those 3 brands and the guys, and I was like, how about we just start telling these guys this, how we could help them channel their brands. Yeah. Because if you have an audience, attention is currency.
Yeah.
You've got to learn how to monetize that to the maximum. And sometimes I also think it's our region that takes advantage of people. Yeah,
definitely.
Because when you look at the global stage, somebody with very minimal following does so well.
So properly,
Yeah, but you find in this country, somebody has immense influence. I look at Frankie, I look at you, get immense influence.
Yes.
Yeah.
The potential is untapped.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sasa tupange. We're not just about to let you walk out. Use us as
what is the strategy?
Tutumie kama testers.
Give us an overview.
Yeah.
Like just, okay, the way you see, I'll become the guinea pig.
Yes.
You've seen me. You see me on social media. I'm ungovernable. How can you create, a brand strategy around Frankie Just Jim It?
As a matter of fact, being ungovernable is a beautiful thing because you get to chart your own path, and that is operating from a point of power. Yeah. So step number 1, you'll have to figure out what you bring to. You've got to know your identity, Frankie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like most people don't understand the identity. When you've built a brand like yours, you've got to understand the value you bring. Anytime you're across a table, you've got to understand that value. So first of all is identity. Second is understanding your audience. Yeah, you'll find maybe Kalala's audience is not likely your audience or my audience. Yeah. So you've got to understand who are the people you appeal to, because this is your bridge sometimes. This is your bridge often to the market you're trying to seek. Now, if you have a diverse level of audience, it's not a bad thing actually. You can even leverage that better. Yeah. So it's understanding your target audience. And then third is something I call outreach. Yeah. What is outreach? Most people wait for brands to come to you and tell you,
go on.
Let's do this. I'm going to tell you as somebody who works with multiple brands. Yeah. most people are just some marketing managers seated somewhere, very old school or outdated.
Yeah.
They have no idea that even marketing is going on to a different global
new
experience,
era.
a new era. So if you wait on them to come to you, often that won't happen.
Yeah.
So you've got to know, how do I package myself, and then how do I pitch in a way that you can't ignore me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a science behind it. Yeah. So that could be step number 3. I would go into details, but you guys would have to pay me.
Of course.
07. Now I want to ask you something quick that you've mentioned, because you said you're mostly on the corporate side of town. Now, does this kind of answer your question why the entertainment part, somebody can have a following without actually having money? Because even you as a strategist, you had not given them the platform. When you think being a brand strategist, you're thinking big brands, you're thinking Safaricom, you're thinking, you get me what I'm saying? So si hata sisi hauoni hata sisi umetoka. Sasa ndio maana disi tuko hadi umetusahau.
No, but at least you're getting into it now.
So what was step 4? Let's continue.
Yeah, free shit.
That one I'm not going to tolerate. I've seen.
I'll give you one more.
All right.
You've got to understand the kind of money you want to make out of your brand.
Okay.
Yeah. So you've also got to break down who exactly is on the other end. So usually you find there's like 0 to 1s, which is the low end of the market. Yeah. So you'll find 0 to 1s probably would just need a form of, I don't know how to put it, but just mindset.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you go to the next tier of clientele. I'm talking about paychecks.
Yeah.
Yeah. The next tier of clientele in your target audience will probably lean on you teaching them a few things, skills here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you'll find the third tier of clientele would come down to you now going deeper. For example, now this is me using my kind of brand. I love to analyze your brands to give you the examples for this.
Yeah, okay.
So the third tier for me would be strategy. So you'll find that in my content, even if I do entertaining content and then I do educative content, I love to incorporate a content that talks about strategy, like what I'm giving you guys right now.
Okay.
Yes.
So if my target audience is watching, that will be a tier 3, a tier 3. Yeah. And that is somebody who would pay you nothing less than 6 figures.
Okay.
So you've got to understand who are you targeting even in your target audience, because they're different.
Kwa kuna wase kadhaa hapo.
Yes.
Ngori, kali.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like as creatives, we have this thing where we just feel like tuingia hapo, I mean celeb, wasa wananijua huyu atanipea 100k, bas, we're on the bag. So and then I think we take it some of us take it less seriously. Tunaonanga ni entertainment, you see. Hatuoni kama ni entertainment, you see. Step 5.
It's work. At the end of the day, it's still work, and you have to strategize.
You don't just wake up in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
So step 5.
Understanding the difference,
Yeah.
and that's the last one, between popularity and influence.
Okay.
Those are 2 different things.
Very.
You can be very popular, but it's let's go next.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then somebody might even have a lesser reach, but people lean in
to listen.
Yes, so you've got to understand that even if you're in the entertainment industry, how do I build influence through entertainment? So you've got to go deeper, the depth of even your content strategy. Yes.
So let's say we follow all those steps right until step 4. Does that solve step 5?
That's a good one. If you follow all those steps up to step 4, you'll make step 5 easier. Yeah, but there's
si sure bet.
Yes, of course.
Kuna dynamic hapo.
There's a whole thing to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is interesting. Now let's get into your TikTok. So I realized you're a very expressive person. Right about now, you're about to shift from the Julian Rose brand strategist to now the life coach. And I just wanted to know, where is all this coming from? Is it something that is the universe sending it to you? Is it you having a life coach? As in nini naendelea? Because I've been looking at some of the videos and whatever you talk about, you know me, I'd wake up in the morning and just complain about something I saw downstairs. Yours looks very meditated, very thought about, very, as in, kuna make sense. Because I'm trying to look at for something that usa leo nataka ni mkorofish. But I'm like, okay, like that. So is it something that you've sat down to curate, or is it something that iko tu kwako na mkanga asubuhi because I've even seen one video making you're headed to, I think, a pitch, and you're saying it's okay to be 20s and have a first time. And I'm like, uko kwa bafu. I'm like, Wi ulipanga ama pia wewe una freestyle life?
It's a good one. I don't think somebody has asked me that before. Now, when I think of how I do the content, am I allowed to go a bit deep?
Please
Say
do.
less.
Yeah. I'm very big on something I call energetics,
Okay.
which is the understanding of how our universe and life literally works. Yeah. So when you go down the rabbit hole of understanding three things: spirituality, consciousness, but also quantum physics. Would you believe everything arrives at the same answers?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think from the understanding of how life works, which is everything is energy at the core, including you and I. So quantum physics will tell you that when you see matter, when I grab this cup, it's simply a collapsed form of energy. And it's now proven. Yeah. But science is giving us this proof when people who are deep and in connection with their inner self, which is spirituality, they already knew this. So science is always bringing proof of things that people already know.
Already knew, yeah.
Yeah, so when you ask where the information comes from, a big chunk of it is from me learning how to, one, master my intuition. When you master your intuition, especially as a woman, it's like you're always walking with God, or rather your higher self.
Okay.
So the information often comes to me when I'm able to calm my mind and get out of the world. So as a managing director, there's so many things that I'm always running around, yeah, and they can cloud you. So I had to find a way to stabilize myself, which means people do that through meditation, but me, I often just do it out in nature. Yeah, and you're able to lock out thoughts, yeah, and just be present in the moment. Most people are not aware that that is how you find answers. Most of us go running and chasing answers. Answers are always meant to find you where you are, but they can't find you if your mind is clouded.
We were just having a conversation with I think our previous guest, and I was telling her one part of the reasons why I don't want to go for therapy is, do you know how the mind is a very scary place?
It is.
So
Your
when
mind.
you know, so when you tell no, like Jen, everybody, okay,
Yours.
no, okay, so you're going to therapy, we get it. So like you have to understand, when you make it so simple and you say, you know what, toka tu, ingia pale ndani na waze, ushafunga hivi macho kwanza kufikiria tu mashida zako. Like you don't have time to see outside what you're going through. You understand? So how do you master that skill of, okay, you know what, Prudi, calm down, acha kufikiria Frank, acha kufikiria Brayo. What are we doing?
You've got to first of all understand how the human brain works.
Okay.
So your mind was wired. Your brain is wired for safety and survival more than anything else. It means it's constantly always firing these neurons based on familiarity. So for example, you're overthinking a particular scenario, you think it's your doing, but your brain is bringing all that to the surface. So step number one is understanding that the brain sometimes isn't the best friend, because it's not after you evolving.
Yeah.
It's after keeping you in a way that it's safe. Because remember, we evolved from, somebody told me this is not a very good term to use, but our ancestors were living in like nature. And when you're living in nature, your brain is wired for survival.
Okay.
Yeah. So you learn that our brain has like three parts. The front, I'm just going to use a layman's language. The front, the middle, the back part.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you find that the limb brain, which is the back part, and the middle brain, which coordinates everything you do, have been there for the longest of time. So the front part of the brain, which is responsible for your self-awareness, is a very recent development. And that is why you think you are running this show, but your brain is operating on autopilot.
Okay.
So it takes you understanding that the part that is aware, the self-awareness bit, is a very recent development. So it does not have much power, which means you have to be intentional about bringing yourself into the awareness.
Okay. Nikitumpia.
Yes. Yeah. So you'll see people even living in loops, and you'd wonder, why are you not helping yourself? They can't unless they understand that it's not their doing, it's the brain doing that. And now they have to step into the awareness to take charge. What does this look like? Yeah. When you're thinking, for example, it's taking a step back and realizing, wait, I'm actually feeding it them more.
Okay.
So are there like practices that you go through in order to do that? Is it like meditation, or is it what exactly do you go through in order to open that, lack of a better word, third eye?
So a lot of people are learning how to do meditation, and I always say meditation You can do it in different forms. The idea that you go sit and do this.
Oh yeah, because that's what I'm seeing. If I'm being honest, I'm seeing somebody in a corner doing this.
Yeah, when you think of it, yeah, when you think that is the only avenue, you're always gonna limit yourself.
Okay.
So you've just got to learn that meditation is your ability to be able to stay in control of your thoughts, and it takes practice. It's not overnight. So you start by just saying 15 minutes a day. I'm going to stay off my phone. Yeah. I'm going to stay off around anybody. So you come into silence within yourself. You start by actually 15, I'm exaggerating. Start by 5 minutes a day in a corner by yourself without a phone. And then you try to empty your mind. Day one, you won't manage. It will be all thoughts. Frankie said this today. Julian was in the studio today. Everything will come in. Yeah. And that will go on for a couple of days. If you don't give up, you'll get to a juncture where you can go 10, 15 minutes completely. Nothing is crossing.
Like blank. Uko tu.
Yes, but it takes a bit of practice. Now that people can go even an hour.
As in hakuna kitu nafikiria.
Yes. And that is where the magic happens, Kalala, because have you heard that we create our reality?
Tell me more.
How do you think that happens? It happens by you planting a new program within your subconscious. You can only plant a new program if you're able to empty the old one. So that is why those moments of coming back within are so important. Yeah.
That is wild.
And how does that? Okay, how does that? Does it matter what line of work you're in or what career you're in? Because obviously, if you look at people who are in the entertainment industry, you really need, especially like let's say even podcasting, you need a lot of information to absorb a lot of information in order to sit here and be able to speak for an hour, 2 hours plus. And this in return is actually doing the opposite of that. You're literally trying to shut off from the noises, right? From all this information that's being channeled in. So how do you separate the two?
Okay. So the idea is not to shut off throughout. Yeah. You've got to, the whole process is to get you to a point whereby you have one foot in the physical reality that we live in. But then the other foot is in understanding your divinity, which is the one that's creating. Yeah. So it's the ability to balance out, because we live, even I run an organization. So there's no way I'm going to tell myself now, I'm going to lock myself in this, in this experience of not. No, you've got to understand that you live in a physical world, but you've also got to understand what creates that physical world. Because now it's proven. People used to think it's just a spirituality thing, but now science will tell you the physical creation already stems from the mental. So anytime you see anything in the physical reality, that is the end result
of something that happened inside here.
Yes. Okay. So the creation of it started before. Yeah. So this process is to enable you become more conscious that you're always creating. So even as you go about your business, Frankie, you understand that when Kalala gets on your nerves, you have a gap there to create or become a victim. Yeah. So you go about your day with maybe a bit of patience because you understand how nature works. Yeah. Yeah. But you also go about your day living in more abundance of fulfillment, peace, but also abundance of how do I put it? Never lacking. Yeah. And what does this look like, Frankie? There are times we are broke. And because we think the physical reality is the truth, you continue to perpetuate that brokenness because you're operating from now, I'm a victim. I can't seem to afford things in this town. People are living lavishly, I'm not. You don't understand that you can live that life in a couple of months if you want to, but you've got to understand where does the creation happen?
In the mind. But we okay, let me ask you a question. Nakuget by the kusema msera anafeel ako stuck in a perspective ya mimi niko ndogo na Frank yako on the bag. But skia niko njaa. That's the situation. Yes. You see, for me, Frank taught me that nimezoea to speak from a place of privilege. And you see, when you say that, I feel like it's a journey, you've been there, and you're talking about abundance. Bro, kama sina do, I hear you're telling me tuanze kufikiri, of course you kitu itanisumbua. Nikipita kwa msewa mahindi nisikia harufu ya mahindi, my mind will go back to, damn, siwezi afford mahindi, siwezi buy mtoi balloon. So how do I nazima jio sauti yet every single time nikinua simu unaona balance ni 0.01.
That's a good one. Kalala, would you believe it? If I told you there really is nothing you can create, and I know that is hard to perceive, especially kama unanipea example unanipea.
Yeah.
Try an alternative of commanding.
What do you mean?
The days when I want something, I will command the universe to do it. I'm not asking. We've been taught this humble thing of, because we were raised in religion a lot. Yeah, we were raised with, yeah. So we were always taught, if you want something, just go beg.
Please, teacher, can I go to the toilet?
Yes. You're always begging for opportunities. You're always begging for blessings. If you are made from the same fabric as God, why are you begging? You command. And what does command look like? Whenever you're commanding something, you are guaranteed it has to happen.
Yeah.
You never command from a place of lack.
Yeah.
Now, almost automatically, you're changing your energy now.
Right.
Because you're like, I'm done with this. I don't know if I almost use a cursive word. So
Say it.
Hi, I'm Kalala.
Yeah, with Kalala, yeah.
Yeah, so you've got to get to a level whereby, that's why sometimes you find your life changes the day you say, I'm actually fed up. Whether it's with a relationship,
Yeah, fuck this.
whether it's with a job, you just say, fuck it.
Rise.
What do you think happens that moment? You've commanded something different. And you can always do it in other areas. But we've been taught to beg and plead. Yeah, instead of just understanding also the things that can help you get what you want.
Are you religious or spiritual?
That's a good one. Spiritual. I was raised in religion. But I think at some juncture you outgrow it if you start to critically think.
Yeah, mnanipima. So, but let me ask you, because talking about commanding. I'm sorry, me, I'm very high on practical things.
Yes.
Me si believing ati ni kitu ya kuna stories za kuamini.
That's
I don't
your
believe
audience,
in that.
You get along with dudes. I'm always like
What's kunipea stories za jaba ati. Case and point. You're talking about commanding. How many times has the pastor told the congregation to command but they still go hungry? How many times?
Oh, that's a good one. It's not just commanding. It's the art of commanding is supposed to energetically bring you at a level where you're able to attract what you want. What do I mean? Yeah. For me to sit here with you and Frankie, there's how energetically you're not aware of it, but we were matched at some point.
Okay.
That's why this happened. Yeah. So how energy works, because it can neither be created nor destroyed, is that we are always vibrating at different frequencies.
All right.
That is why when you outgrow, for example, somebody, you never run into them, even if you're in the same neighborhood.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then when you meet somebody,
Insane.
you now start seeing them all of a sudden.
Yes.
That is wild.
Yes. So it's just an energetical, and so that means anytime, for example, you're in scarcity, usually your vibration is a bit low.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking from that scarcity mindset. And as long as you're in that vibration, even if you go and give offerings.
Bado hujakubali na kam.
No.
It's the energy that you put out.
Yeah, so that is what you'll attract. But if you understand that the creation belongs within me, yeah, you can start elevating your energy to be able to allow things in. So even in lack, that's why I think even the Bible talks about faith almost everywhere. And I always tell people who are Christians, can you interpret the biggest message in the Bible, which is faith? Faith is literally moving in that act of, I know
It's going to happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even if the physical circumstances don't reflect that, you've got to know how reality and nature works.
Yeah.
But that is what we were not taught. We've been conditioned on this other side, and that's why a lot of us are struggling. Yeah.
What if I'm commanding stuff and I'm just chilling in the house? Will it happen? You see? Because I'm like, bedhe mi siwezi lala
That's
nje.
wishful
Abundance is
thinking.
my birthright. Netflix.
That's a good one. So from my experience at least, you see how you ask for something.
Right.
One thing I've noticed is all the ingredients are brought to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, today, there's somebody who we are talking to that this message is going to probably change their life.
Right.
Yeah. But it's because we took the time to be here and have this discussion. Yeah. But it was from an inspired action. Somebody saw someone and said, Julian, come to the show. And you guys were like, yes. Yeah. So what I think of it is when you want something and you're sure you're going to get it, the universe will conspire to bring for you the ingredients.
Right.
You've got to be a sharp person that is able to take the inspired action and
unafaa
run
kuwa
with
rada.
it. Yeah, so don't just sleep and say, can money fall in my
Labs.
in
Money.
my lap? Because you're in the physical reality. So you've got to know that you can have anything, but it will be channeled in a way that comes to you.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you believe in this thing? If you have multiple partners in bed, you guys exchange energies.
Oh, yes.
What do you mean?
Kalala.
Kama kwani wachawi pia mimi ni mchawi.
No, but your energy at the core, Kalala. Especially you as a woman, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about this, but you as a woman, you have a womb. Your womb does not just your womb does not just birth children.
Yeah.
Your womb births lifetimes, it births abundance, but it also cleans almost every man
I told you guys were dirty. I told you guys were dirty.
that you get intimate with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've also got to understand that when you're with somebody, there's an energetic exchange happening.
All
That's
right.
why couples end up starting to look alike after many years together. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Or
not
they
because
start
they have
having
kids.
almost similar behaviors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even understand that there's that cellular exchange happening.
I have a
yeah.
question. With regards to the exchange of frequency and with partners, there's this thing where, mostly with women, where after you break up with someone, there's this thing called no contact. Like once, like you've gone such a long time without being with this person, but when you break that contact and you not memory lapse, but just making a wrong decision and sleeping with them again, it's like you feel like you're back in that cycle again. Does that have anything to do with what you said?
It's a good one. Now, maybe this would be a bit out of topic, but even our understanding of time is flawed, but that's for another day. So I think we think of time in a linear manner, but time isn't linear. Time is cyclical. Yeah, and this was proven by Einstein's theory of relativity. I won't go into the details. So when you think of time being cyclical, it means time moves in a loop. Yeah, and what you're saying when you go back and interact with like an ex, if it's like you're back in the loop. If you didn't pick the lessons that were necessary during the breakup, or rather the time you're with them, you're going to repeat the entire cycle. And you can do it, and it will go on and on until you pick your lesson. You can only move to the next.
But what if my ex is the one? Like me and Frankie were together, then
they
we
shouldn't be your ex.
No, we were having a bad time for like 7 years, okay? And then now we came back.
Then you'll be comfortable in the new in the loop.
No, what if they've changed?
Then cool. Make it work.
Yeah.
I've noticed that you're really strong on other things that you actually believe in. So I want to ask you, what is that one thing that, because looking at myself as Kalala, the things that I said when I was 21, I'm like, no, guys, I don't stand by that shit. So is there something that you actually believed in, like religiously, like Kenny says, you're like, I've kind of grown, I've missy die squeeze.
Religiously. I think it's how we were nurtured to think of God as this separate entity from us. Yeah, and I think it did more harm than good. Yeah, because if everybody understood that God is even you are a fragment of God. So it's like you're having a human experience, but you're a spiritual being.
Yeah.
So I think one of the biggest flaws we had was that assumption, like God is somewhere there in
Heaven.
Yeah, and you're gonna meet him when we die. Yeah, it's taken away from our ability to be able to connect with God every day. Because if people understood that God walks with you every step of the way, you'd make every decision with God. But now, how do you listen to God? How does God speak to you? Because that also we've not been taught. Yeah. So for example, you're a woman, your intuition is heightened. Yeah. If you can learn how to master your intuition, that is you always communicating with the voice of God. Because things like intuition are rooted in the universal consciousness. It's not like intellect, which is just limited to the brain.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I ask you, when you say intuition, what do you mean? Because there's this thing where women say, as a woman's intuition never lies. Then this perspective is to now Frankie, the husband, that I just feel like he's cheating, and he's not. So what's that?
Now, when you look at this is a plant.
All right.
Right? You know it's a plant, for example. Yeah. So intuition is that inner knowing that goes beyond belief. We've been taught to believe, for example, in God. Yeah, intuition knows there's a God.
Okay.
Yeah, that is where when for example you're walking away from things that fulfill you, feel like you're letting either your path down or God down, because deep down you know God exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I think of intuition, I think it's just that inner knowing that goes beyond the clutter of the mind. That's why some they define it as it exists in the gut.
Yeah, the gut feeling.
Yeah.
Jinx,
And
by me.
Yeah, and I think it's just a reference to the life force. So for example, you're a woman, you have a womb. So there's a whole life force there, because no science can even explain how spirit meets flesh inside there.
Swear down.
So you've actually mentioned about the womb.
Pointing at me.
And how, you know, abundance is created within that. Where's my abundance? As a man, like, where is it created?
No, everybody has a life force. Now I think of consciousness as what gives life to everything.
Okay.
It exists within me, you and Frankie. It exists within this plant. And that is why if you water this plant every day and you speak good life into it, she blossoms. You water this plant every day and you come insulting it, it will wither. It's been tested over and over again.
They do say that, like, literally,
Yes.
if you
Like
go,
like this
you
is
can
not like
tell a
speaking in
toxic
parables.
household based on the plant.
No, this is scientific.
Because the plants don't live.
Fuck off. I'm sorry. Fuck
true.
off.
Yes,
True.
yes.
Hey man, I'm coming to your houses. I'm coming to your houses. Like words.
Yes.
Hata iko kwa jua, manure and shit.
I'm telling you, there's so much to life that I feel has been locked away from us, and it's intentional. Because if people understood the nature of God, which is a birthright to every individual, yeah, they'd live in complete abundance. But this information, you'll find they're barely ever in mainstream, because if everybody woke up to reality of how everything works, we'd not have the system, we'd not have capitalism, we'd not have the matrix. So this is something that has to be kept by our ignorance.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do you protect energy when you're trying to create connections? Because you're trying to, obviously with energy, you'll have to share some of that of your energy. How do you protect it now?
That's a good one. I think of it as it's not supposed to prevent you from connections. It's just supposed to get you to a level where you're picky, because you can now sense it. Yeah. You can be with somebody and you can just feel energetically it's not aligned.
Roho yangu imtaki.
Yeah. You don't need to now get the logic out of it, because most of us humans wait for the logic. But your intuition told you from day one, that's a messy person. You just shut it down.
I like the ride. Let's go for the ride. Let's find out what will happen.
You like testing the waters.
You get me. Don't touch the red button.
Is your partner into what you're also into?
I think so. I think I've been good influence so far.
Okay.
You'll find out.
All right. You're not popular. You've influenced.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So let me ask something. I dropped out of school. And for the longest time, my parents are like, hapana, unajua unafaa kuwa hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi. But me just want to wake up and shout at people on the internet and make money out of it. So unajua aje, because honestly, those guys have put a shitload of fuck money to get me to school. And now I feel like it's my responsibility to stop whatever I'm doing and make this happen. So, because you see kitu mbaya be, they also metoboka ajab, you know? But then meantime, the prize is, there's no now moka lala, you have to go to school, you don't have time for the events. So how do I know that indo papasi yangu, na mimi kufanya kitu yenye nakaa fiti, inani take away from papasi yangu? Because being a lawyer is a good thing, but I want to be a DJ.
Yes.
So how do you know indo papasi yangu na kitu inani take away from it? Because see, most of the time wasana dhaningi ati pombe na wanawake will take you from your purpose. But sometimes it's those good things. So how do you know that this good thing is not my purpose?
I actually think a part of you has the answer, Kalala, because from the background I understand, I don't think the audience understand you have a bit of a cool kid background. Yeah, because I keep telling you
This is a
because
sport
that's
brand.
how you
you
portray
this.
yourself in the world.
Christ.
Unless somebody knows where you come from.
Bus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's a part of you that was always known, because I remember seeing you in the limelight and knowing your folks, and I was like, this is interesting. Let's see how this goes. Yeah. And then your audience also have this perception because you've made them feel so much at home. People have this almost like the personality you've created around your brand.
Yeah.
And I'd say you're doing amazing because the answer to what you're saying, I'd say follow your highest fulfillment. That is the path that always leads you home. So never look at what do my folks want for me? What did I study for? I've never used my degree. What did I study, for example? Am I supposed to take this particular path because society demands it? You've got to learn how to come back within, which is listening to your heart, your highest fulfillment. When Frankie talked about energy and getting boundaries around energy, how you manage your energy levels is also very important. Yeah, so you'll find that if you follow things that spark your heart, naturally you'll have high energy levels.
Yeah.
That is why we're in the recording studio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So usually your highest fulfillment is aligned with your purpose. Most of us just fear to take that path because of our conditioning.
Yeah.
Yes. But usually your emotions speak to you on where you're being guided to. Yeah.
You said everything comes together. So you're telling me Kilam say by the time they've died, they had fulfillment?
No, not everyone.
So that people were just like sad their whole lives?
No. You can't say that everybody will have fulfillment when not everybody has the courage to follow their life paths, rather their callings. So a lot of people, for example, are stuck in 9 to 5.
All right.
By first year of working in 9 to 5, I already figured this is not my thing.
Yeah.
And I didn't question the universe, like what is tomorrow?
Yeah.
So let me bear it. And that is why I managed to establish an organization so early. So you've got to be the kind of person that doesn't lean on the fear bit. Because the more courageous you are, the more the doors open, Kalala. You'd be amazed at how much risk-taking will do for you. Not in a way that is self-sabotage, but in a way that I'm going to take the step. I trust you to hold me.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Your job is never to know how. Your job is to envision the end goal. And as long as you're willing to take one step, your hand will always be held to the next step.
Yeah.
But most of us don't have the courage to even do that.
Yeah. You courageous yourself. You've gone against your folks and
Okay, calm down. Don't put it like that. I'm going towards my purpose. Put it like that.
There you go.
My folks. Hey. Go back to school. Don't worry. Don't worry.
So, as an African philosopher, what does that entail?
It's a good one. It's us refining our own philosophy. Philosophy is just the way of life. Yeah. And the set of belief system you walk through. When you look at how we've evolved as a continent, we've been really shortchanged. And I say this because as somebody who deals in a company that, for example, you see things like AI is a frontier.
Yeah.
You soon understand that even the highest forms of technology are a mimic of how universal consciousness works. Yeah. And African philosophy is deeply rooted in that universal consciousness. Our ancestors were way advanced than how we've defined them. Yeah. I gave this story somewhere on a video, and somebody commented and said, growing up, my grandma would say, please slaughter the chicken. There's a guest on the way. This is a duration where there were no phones. But the grandma, because she was so tapped in her intuition and in the universal consciousness, she could be able to pick somebody's coming. Yeah. And then slaughter that chicken without questioning, and a guest would show up. And there are whole hundreds of confession of how there are things we can't explain. But back in the day, it was so rooted that it was normal. They'd call on to the rain. How is somebody able to tell the rains?
Yeah, because what?
Yes. But these are not myths. These are real stories.
Yeah,
and they
they
still
are.
exist.
Yeah, the rainmaker guys.
They still exist today.
Because what do you mean you're making rain?
Yeah. We had women healers. Now, they because of history tarnished it to call them witches. But these are women who knew to walk around with herbs. They knew how to heal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
When you go down the rabbit hole, you find there were people who were able to fix even broken bones, not by operating or anything. It was just energetical work. So I hold your bones with certain herbs, and you get your bones back. Yeah, but we forgot, we did forgo that, and we leaned. I don't think we forgot it. I think it was erased. Yeah, and now there's only this one form, for example, the Western medicine way of treatment, which is more of curative instead of preventative, because it ensures you keep coming back.
Yeah.
There was this video which I actually saw the other day on social media. I think it's happened back in 19 something. I forgot what year it was exactly. Where they were doing, and it was here in Kenya. They were doing the first brain surgery. Yeah, where they're cutting you with literally. It was a wembe thing. It was a razor blade.
Without even the anesthesia.
Nothing. They opened that lady's brain.
Imagine.
Took out whatever they needed to take out.
Put it back together.
Yes. And she was, I think they showed, I think it was last year. It was 2024.
Wait, like there was no anesthesia?
No, they showed her, like they went and had a conversation with her.
She was shouting.
You can see over here the cut and everything. Well, and it was a success. She's old now. Like she's very old. It was a successful
Can
surgery.
you believe all that wisdom is now being wiped out? Because now we can see glimpses, but they've been very intentional over the years. So soon, there'll be barely ever history that shows there are alternative ways of even medication. There's alternative ways of healing. So for example, energy work. Yeah, you'll find that traditionally people are so good with like sound because they knew that sound, has an influence on our frequency. Yeah. But all those things were taken away. So right now they're coming back and telling us about sound healing.
Yeah.
Everything they're introducing, guys.
Yeah.
We knew.
But let me ask you, you said that energy cannot be created or destroyed. So we cannot say that the healing method of energy does not exist. It does exist,
it does
right?
Exist.
Yeah. Is it maybe that the people who are doing it just don't know what they're doing?
We've forgotten the art because of the current conditioning. So for example, you are taught when you feel a bit uneasy in your body, go pick a painkiller.
Painkillers, yeah.
And then after some time, they tell you, no, those painkillers, the more you do them, the more they become ineffective.
Yeah.
So what are you supposed to do? Yeah, so you've got to understand that it's the training, because the minute you train people on how things work, that gets to be their belief system. And like every muscle, unless it's practiced, usually it doesn't bulk up.
Yeah.
So that is why gifts like telepathy, which are very normal back in the day. That is why, for example, that grandma would pick, there's a visitor coming. Yeah, all those gifts now have been almost like whitewashed. Now when you tell somebody, now somebody, you can pick a call, you can be thinking of somebody, then they ring.
Ooh.
And then you think it's a coincidence.
We met in the spiritual realm.
You've even forgotten that you have an internal gift of telepathy. So you actually spoke to them in that minute and you thought of them. Yes, and then they reach out. Yeah. So you find that there are so many gifts that we no longer have, or rather make use of, because we've forgotten that
they actually exist.
Yes. So imagine if people knew, for example, that naturally you can be telepathic in let's say in business. You'd easily close so many deals.
Okay.
Do you think that's because of like the heavy introduction of technology? It simplified everything for us that we don't even need to use our brains to that capacity.
Have you seen the research right now on AI and what it's doing to our brain?
What's that?
It's frying our brains. And I'm saying this as somebody that is very heavy in that industry, so I have nothing against it. It makes our clients work easier.
Yeah.
But what it's doing to the creatives is crazy, because now everybody is relying on it for everything. Now, as long as you're not stretching your own brain,
yes,
you can never evolve in a way. Today I was doing a LinkedIn story. So I do my own captions. It's been a while. And then I go to Gemini and I say, please spruce this up for me. Yeah. And it gives me like these 3 options, which are good. Yeah. But there's something missing. So I end up just using what I did as my writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes you don't understand that sometimes even your own is good than the AI.
Yeah.
But now we're being conditioned. No.
Yeah.
This is the standard.
Well, I think we're not. I'm talking about. Are we not here to make life easier? Let's just be honest. Are we not here to
balance
make
is good.
life easier?
Yeah, I believe a balance is good, because sometimes I've even received emails from corporates and you can actually see this is AI generated
AI.
message.
I have apologized to my boyfriend with an AI text. What are you saying, bro? I'm like, yo, how do I? Because me, I'm not heavy on. I was wrong. Me too. I was wrong. Who's wrong? Me, no.
ChatGPT was wrong.
But yeah, I love you, babe. We're back.
Please make this witty. Make me funny.
And you know, people have conversations with ChatGPT. Literally.
And that thing
Was
is
I wrong for doing
Snapchat
this?
my AI.
Like literally having
Yeah.
a whole conversation with it.
Even therapy, like. No, go ahead.
Sorry, you just finished.
No. I was just putting in my 2 cents.
I want to ask you a question, Julian.
Yeah.
How do we undo conditioning and who we remember who we are? And my second question would be, how do we put death to our old selves? Yeah, especially during rebirth.
Yes, it's a good one. How do we undo? Sorry, your first question.
How do we undo conditioning that we've been programmed with, and also remembering who we are? And then the second question is, how do we put death to our old selves? Complete rebirth. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. Step number 1, if I was to walk somebody through that journey, I'd break it down to 1, start with your self-concept, because everything stems from your self-concept. Your self-concept is the lens through which you see the world and interact with other people. Yeah. So your self-concept will have 3 or 4 parts to it. It will start with self-awareness. So this is me knowing who am I, but also being aware of my gaps. Yeah. So let's say I'm Rono, for example. Yeah. Rono is funny. Rono is interesting. Rono is ambitious. Yeah. That is what I know about myself. Now I've got to be able to look back almost at that same self and say, now what are my shortfallings, for example? Yeah. And this could look like something like you discovering how your energy bursts work. I say this because our society has conditioned us to do, for example, continuous work. Yet maybe your core personality as Rono is you work in bursts. Yeah. And then your body needs you to shut down and then you work again in bursts. So it's just that level of self-awareness. Who am I at the core? What is my personality? What are my energy levels? What are my weaknesses? So it starts by self-awareness. And then you have self-esteem, which is the relationship you have, how much you like yourself, in short.
Normal.
Yeah. So you've got to work on liking yourself more than everybody, even more than the love of your life. You've got to start by you, because you're always a mirror. You show other people how to love and value you by how much you love yourself. So self-esteem is such an underestimated thing, but the goals you go after in life and what you think is possible comes down to your self-esteem. Yeah. Do you walk in a room and feel like you belong? Yeah. Most of us go, for example, to pitch a business idea or to pitch ourselves, but you walk in that room and you're already intimidated by people who are seated across you. One thing you've got to understand, that every human being on a scale is equal, man. Yeah, Kalala wanted to go pee. We all pee.
Guy, wow.
Yeah. So you've got to understand, you've got to have that mindset and not put people on a pedestal. You need to be able to walk into a room even full of presidents and have a farm shake, because you deserve a seat on the table just like them. And I think this becomes easier with the exposure, because once you've gotten to the top, you realize there's some very dumb people at the top.
In charge of
Even
our
fools grow
finances.
up.
Yeah. So you've got to know that. Another thing is putting yourself in boxes because of maybe status. So I'm just starting out in life, or I'm just starting out in this career field, or I'm still new in this, or I've not achieved that. So you carry that as something that makes you any less. It's a conditioning.
Normal.
Yeah. So you've got to know that you are it, with or without anything else. That's enough. Just your existence alone is an expression of God. So renewing that identity within really helps. So that is on self-esteem. Self-awareness. You've got to also have your ideal self. Ideal self is the best picture of yourself in your mind.
All right.
Please keep stretching it. Your goals currently are based on your level of exposure.
Yeah.
You think they're the ultimate goals, but it's still capped at your level of exposure. So your ideal self is always stretching what you think is possible for you. Yeah. If whether it's a financial goal, be delusional a bit. Yeah. Understand that it's not about where I am right now. It's about what do I want. Now, the minute you're able to expand that, the door's open, things show up, but you've got to meet the universe halfway. Yeah. So that would be ideal self. What is the fourth thing? I think I remember the fourth thing and let you know.
Okay.
What was the second question?
How to put death to the old self.
That's a good one. The old self is a program. Every program runs on a code, which means you want to reprogram something else. It's going to take time, but you've got to understand that the code takes time to implant. So it's coming back to understanding how you've been doing things, how you've been thinking, and the areas you've had of limitations. And every single time you find yourself in the same scenario, you try to input a new code. So your new current version doesn't react the way the older version was. She's more emotionally intelligent. She's more socially intelligent. Yeah, that's why you're seated beautiful like that. Yeah, she's more self-aware. So in moments whereby you'd react as your old self, always remember to anchor in your new self. You do this over time, you're reprogramming. Yeah.
Put your mouth on the mic. No homo.
Sorry, with the question Rono asked and how I responded to it, there's something I think it was on TikTok or somewhere, I read that every single experience that you've had builds up to the person that you are going to be, like the person you aspire to be. So I don't know if that's the same as what you said, like reprogramming every how you think, and with the new experiences or similar experiences, like you have to think differently and just apply yourself to deal with it differently. I don't know if that's the same thing. Like your past experiences build how you're going to make, what decision you're going to make in the future.
Yes. They do, and that is why you have to be very conscious. But here's the thing, when you understand that is how you've been creating reality, you now have a chance to change it. And maybe this will also answer Rono better. How do you reprogram now this new version of you? Yeah. And there's few tactics to it. Now you'll see online they'll talk about things like visualization, which is good. It's important. But you've got to understand what they're trying to do when you tell you like visualize that future ideal self.
Yeah.
What they're trying to do is emotionally anchor you into a new reality, which means you want to get to that ideal self faster. When you're visualizing it, don't just think of it as seeing it in your mind. Engage all your sensory perceptions. So this means engage how your heart feels. How your body feels, your emotions at that particular time. So when you're visualizing, make sure your whole body is engaged. That is how you also quantum jump. I think you guys have heard of quantum jumping.
Yes.
Yeah, so if multiple timelines exist at the same time, how do you move from this timeline whereby I'm lacking to that timeline whereby I have everything I want? It means in my moments of trying to create that new reality, you don't even need to do this every day. When you get a chance, try and visualize that ideal self and then embody it in your body. Feel it. Feel yourself having that matcha. Yeah. Somewhere in, I wanted to say Paris, but I like to use Africa nowadays as an example.
Ring the bell.
Yeah. So picture yourself somewhere, maybe in Cape Town by the beach, with maybe the love of your life, maybe with your dog or your cat.
My cats.
Yeah. Yeah, and feel that emotion fully. Feel yourself like you've taken yourself on a shopping spree where you're even dropping dead because you've really shopped. How does that feel within the body? If you can program that within the body over time, there's no limitation.
I have another question to follow up on that. So this is with regards to religion. In church we're taught that I don't know. There's this thing that I've heard where it's a sin to think about things that you don't have and just admire. It's not admire. It's not imagine and just put yourself in a place where you're not and just think of these big things that you currently don't have. And I feel like that's I was told that and I felt some type of way about it because I had it in church and I was like, I don't think that's right. I feel like I should be able to put myself in situations, even if it's in my brain, and just see how I feel about it and see what to expect. Because I don't think that's a bad thing. So I don't know. That's kind of contradicted how I think, and you've kind of brought it into, you vocalized it properly.
Okay. Thank you for that. I also think when you mention something like the church, I think a lot of us, because we were raised in church, we've gotten to put this trust in other people's ideologies and interpretations. So from the interpretations of the holy books you guys read, but through somebody else's lens.
Okay.
Yeah, from the interpretation of life through somebody else's. Yeah. So I think we've got to get to a level whereby, because the answers I'm talking about here today, it's about coming back within. If you're able to quiet yourself within, these are answers that naturally will come to the surface for you, which is why I never own any of my ideas, because I think I'm sometimes just a channel. You said, where do you get the content from? Sometimes you open yourself and you become a channel from so the universe uses you to pass down the message of how things work.
Yeah.
And artists will tell you this. There's a time Otile Brown reposted when I talked about this. And he was talking about, even as an artist, some of your best works, you struggle to how do you say, take ownership of
them,
it.
yeah.
If you're someone who's consciously aware, that's when I knew Otile is a bit conscious. Yeah, because he said it feels like some of his best work, it was a kernel. It got to a level where you allow it to come through you. And if you're all a collective consciousness, that's why even your ideas, some of your brilliant, if you don't act on it, a few months down the line, you see somebody doing it. Like, I had that idea, but you didn't do it.
But I have a question for you. You see, you said you're a life coach. Is that not missing life from your lens?
Except it's not just my lens. Yeah, if I own the ideas, it would be me. Yeah, but I'm sharing the lessons I've learned based on experience, but also because I'd say it like you're a walking, living evidence of what you're preaching. So you can only teach that which you've lived. I always say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think of it like I coach people from my ideas. My job is to bring you back to yourself.
Okay.
That's why I keep saying the answers will come to the surface. If I'm able to direct you back within, I don't even need to do the convincing. Now my coaching students come back and they're more excited than me. Because the more you see the proof of it, the more you want to do more into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the more now the universe opens up, it's like growing a child. It will take you it won't overwhelm you on day one, Kalala. It will take you bits by bits unraveling the truth, because it understands the conditioning you've had over the years. So if I'm to overwhelm you with truth, it's going to be too much.
Yeah.
So it's the baby steps, and then it opens up over time. Yeah.
What's your advice on like financial decisions? I know for myself, like I'm the type to generate and then save. And then instead of just like spending it, whatever I've saved on smaller things, I end up purchasing something that's really massive. So whatever I've saved, boom,
one time,
dumped it onto one thing, and then I start the process on again. So what would be your advice when it comes to like, financial decisions?
I don't like giving advice on that bit, but I'd say this. Finances is also a creation of our mind. So I try not to lean more on the outcome of it. I try to think of the sources. So if you find yourself like you're overspending, I don't think of it as you're obviously supposed to cut down your expenses, for example. Yeah.
I don't even believe it's overspending, because it's not like I'm taking everything away from myself and I can't sustain it. No, I just build it to a point where I'll still have enough to take care of my family and all that, because I still have kids and school fees and all that. So I would indulge
a bit too much.
Yeah, for it to know, like, the way you can have, let's say your savings is 1M.
Yes.
Right? I'd eat 900.
What?
You get? And then I'll start that process again. And that's saving. It's not like I'm touching into my normal. That's savings.
Yeah.
So then I start again from 100.
You see how you've defined it?
Yeah.
It's a subconscious thing. Because you're already defining, like, this is what I do.
It's
so
cyclical.
It becomes,
this is the thing that I've been doing.
So it becomes that loop I was talking about.
Yeah.
So it's a matter of, for you to step out of it, you've got to bring your awareness into it. I think you're already doing. That's why you're able to see ways.
Notice,
Yes.
Yeah.
So by the time you're noticing it, that is probably your higher self telling you, now let's watch out.
Hold up, guys.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Let's look at how we're handling this. So it's just a matter of breaking out of that. Yeah, but it seems like it's something subconsciously you do. Maybe maybe it sparks something in you or something. I don't know what it does.
So for me, I look at life in terms of you only live it once.
I mean,
so if I'm saying I'm not going to go to the grave with this.
And I'm telling you, as an abundant coach, I'm not against that mentality, because sometimes I lean towards it too.
Because I make sure everything else is okay.
Sorted.
So Sasiko
Then now it's like, this is what's left.
Let's
Let me
have
enjoy it. Yeah.
But let me tell you, if you're gonna do it,
Yeah.
make sure there is not a drop of regret in it.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Usually the problem starts when you bring regret. Now you're gonna create a scarcity thing there. But if you enjoy that money to the fullest,
Yes.
and deep down you know tomorrow that money is coming back, it will come back.
It will,
Wait,
it will.
let
That's true.
me ask. You see, most of us in the entertainment industry tunaishingi maisha hand to mouth. Pigwa 100k leo natandika yote junajua kesho iko.
Yes.
So are you telling me to do that?
I'm not encouraging it. I'm saying if it happens, bring your self-awareness in. Don't make it a habit. But if you're to do it,
Yeah.
fully revel in that moment. The same way, if you decide today, I want to lazy around, make sure you're not regretting laying on that couch. Make sure you're actually enjoying laying on that couch.
But you see, that one is different. What you're saying is different because
Yeah.
you're getting 100. You haven't taken care of any of your costs, rent, whatever it is that you have to pay, and then you want to eat all of it.
Maoni party, like you know the way as an entertainer, you don't have at the end month money. Unaweza kuwa umelipa rent leo and tomorrow someone else give you 200 another day. So it to so
But you still have savings.
Nishalipa, we tulia. Nishalipa rent. Nimebuy nguo, food tuko sawa, my cats have been fed. Guys, let's go to course.
You know what I usually do?
Because I know when I come back, I'll fakir 200k. So why not?
You know what I usually do?
Do you know why you make that 200k back? Because when you're spending the other one, you knew it was coming.
That's the issue. But do you know what I do? From every check that I receive, there's a percentage I remove.
Okay.
So if I know 30% I'm saving, it's 30% whether it's 10 bob, 30% whether it's 2 Mike.
So when the 7,000 you've eaten, now you've saved 3,000. So you have to...
Can I give you a perspective about why saving sometimes is good? I'm also not very good at it, but I try. Because when you have some money on the side, you live more abundantly.
Oh, yeah.
Even if your M-Pesa iko nil.
Yeah, unajua uko standby.
Uko like niko na
Niko
na money market, maybe I see kuna kapesa hapo nilirusha mahali. Yeah, so you move with a bit of ease. So you've got to look at the strategy behind it.
And I've also found, I don't know if this is just me, the more I spend, the more it comes back, which is weird.
Tumia pesa ikuzoe.
No, because you live in abundance when you're spending. You know it's I don't know how to put this in words, Frankie, but money is a human creation.
Okay.
Naturally, Mother Earth is very abundant. The things that we value, things like gold, like diamonds, all these things Mother Earth gives us for free.
Yeah.
So the system we created around money is a human-made system. This is why I find it pitiful that we have kids starving in this world. Because that's not how this structure is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I tried not to feed my energy into that,
Yeah.
So if you understand that the core of life is pure abundance, like everything is supposed to have been taken care of. Yeah. When you move in that energy, usually you can never lack. Unaweza fika your last bob, then somebody shows up and says, I'm buying you dinner.
Because I will lie.
Yeah. You can do projects without even having the finances to the end of it. You don't even know hiyo nyumba ilifika aje hapo.
Yeah.
You don't know the maths behind it. Yeah. So when Frankie says the more you spend, the more it comes to you, because now in that moment you've reverted back to your true nature.
Yeah.
What is your true nature? Do you know miracles are your true nature? That's your true nature. So we've just been conditioned. Now our belief system looks at miracles like, oh my God, that happened.
Like, what do you mean miracles? Like the blind thing?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so glad I didn't say what's in my head. I'm so
What
glad.
did you want to
No,
say?
I can't say. I can't say. So it's not zile vitu za Mungu amenibariki mazee, Rona amenipigia bana ameniambia Prudence shika yo 1 million. Unajua tumekoma. Are those not the literal miracles? Because you see, when you tell me something about the cripple walking, then usimame bas.
No, even the money you're talking about, that is your true nature. In that particular moment, you came back into your true self. Yeah. So the lack that we experience is often someone will say now a kid's starving somewhere. How did they create that? Yeah. And it's not that the kid created that. You'll find that maybe the environment they were in is what's causing that situation. Yeah. And this is why, for example, you'll find that someone might say, why are you not, I don't know how to put it, but why are you not adding your voice into this complaint we're having as a society?
Yeah.
But as somebody that understands how energy works, I'm going to support you in a different way. because I know I can plant a different seed. Yeah. But as long as I'm leaning on everybody's energy, which is downhill, all we're doing is fueling that downhill energy. So I think of abundance and miracles as our true nature, Kalala. And the minute you arrive at that level of knowing, you start seeing it everywhere. Yeah. You'll be out in nature and you'll be communing with nature. Yeah. Things will happen in such a way that people call it coincidences, but you're like, this can't be it. Yeah. There's no way today I wanted this particular thing and it just showed up. So the more you do it, the more you start seeing it everywhere around you.
True.
I want to ask you something about success.
Yeah.
You know how people usually have 5 year goals, 10 years, Then I believe if you don't achieve your 10-year goals after 10 years, I believe you failed, right? Because that was the idea. Ulisema in 10 years nafaa kuwa hapa.
You said time is an illusion. So you're still limiting yourself to time.
So then what's the whole idea of a 5-year plan, 3-year strategy? So sema tu strategy, alafu time itawak.
Exactly what you said.
Yes.
You do that in business.
Exactly what you said.
You guys are not serious. People run businesses with strategies, wiki work.
So you don't have short-term, long-term?
Long-term goals?
No, those you'll find that those exist, but you don't need to push yourself. Why are you putting 5 years ahead? Yeah, I say that because this morning I was in a meeting with a client of ours, they're based in Karen, and they were talking about scaling their automotive to almost 500 vehicles in a day. For you to have that kind of space in Karen, that is crazy. Yeah, right now they're doing a certain number. They're aiming for that in a span of like the next 6 months. And I found that incredibly audacious, but I respected that so much that I took on the contract to help them achieve that. Because only somebody who understands how energetics work know that nothing is impossible. So those things you're dragging for 10 years, just bring it down a bit if it will make sense to you. But don't overstretch yourself, because sometimes you do it based on practicality, but the universe is never practical, guys. Yeah, the universe is never practical. Do you know, even your eyes, you can see me, but you're seeing less than 1% that is in this room, scientifically. Yeah, because your eyes see less than 1% of color, which means the things you people see in horror films probably are closer to reality.
Okay, calm down. I live alone, calm down. We have to people today.
But also your brain will process like, let's say 11 million bits of information in a span of seconds, yeah? But it can only narrow it down to like 50. So imepeleka wapi hizo zingine. It means even your analysis is flawed usually. That is why you can't really always just look at your circumstances and say, this is the whole picture. No.
What if you're not able to do the 500 in 6 months? Isn't that classed as a failure to them?
I never fail.
Ooh.
Ring the bell, come on. Hey. Come on. You were saying? Okay.
Interesting. Awesome. On a lighter note, do you watch movies?
Oh, yeah.
Because like the things that you were speaking on have a lot of similarities to the Marvel universe. Talking about, time is not linear, quantum leap. Are those things which you just like sit down, that's what you do on your pastime, or?
The people that are responsible for producing your movies are in the 1%. They know the truth. So they tell you the truth in a way that looks like entertainment, because most of us want to grasp it.
Yeah.
So sometimes watching those things are fun because I feel like they affirm what you already know, but you don't use it as a source, because sometimes they also bring in their flawed ideas in the process to not give the entire
for
picture.
Entertainment sake, of course.
Let me ask you, this 1%, what the fuck is the problem? As in, ndio mbona wanatuficha shit yote, ndio wakituambia nini itafanyikia?
If anybody was a billionaire, would you have a help?
Yeah. And I feel like it should also motivate you to. I would not
to join
motivate,
the 1%.
Not necessarily motivate you to join them, but understand things on the level that they're understanding as well. It would make you not have any animosity towards them, because they don't owe you anything. If you think about it, you owe yourself everything.
Sijafanyia kitu, simniambieni tu kweli.
When something is unattainable, then it's something that everyone, is desirable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mm.
If it was that easy, then
Also we run in a capitalistic world. So you need labor. Sasa mtu anakuja kwa mjengo yako. Angejua anaweza jenga yake.
Nitajipanga usikie.
Yeah.
Narudi tu wacha polite.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Awesome.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. That was an eye-opener.
No, I love this.
Yes.
Welcome again. The next episode will pick from step 6.
No, biggest catch me a check.
Edwin,
Matwiri bana. Hey.
kata cheki.
It is a wrap. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
Thank you
Feel free
for
to come
coming.
back.